Hello everyone, hope you can hear me. I'm about to do a live program and I just decided I'm about to join a TV program, so I decided to also turn it into live and do live. Kill two stones with one bird, right? And I'm also using this as mirror. Let me see, am I looking? My badge. It's so sad that up to today, a decade later, this badge still matters. People are still being abducted, they are still being taken away. It's really sad. And then you have some people who will sit down and be telling you that, don't let them kill you. We like you. Don't let them kill you. You that they are killing inside house, uncle. I mean, you know, like yourself. Very annoying. I just find it so, honestly, so annoying when people do that. I get it that some of them is out of concern, out of care, but please don't bring your fears into my space. Just keep it there. Keep it there, because at the end of the day, I'm not asking you to do what I'm doing. Why are you asking me to do what you're doing? If you're okay with being silent, if you're okay with being afraid of some people, it's okay. Stay silent. They don't tell me what to do and what not to do. Please, all the people who never talk with, they don't kill uncle. Anyway, let me try and see. Let me try and join the people I'm supposed to join live. It's so always so funny. Hi, hello, those that have joined. So I'm just going to do live. I hope you guys are hearing me. I can't actually see because it's a bit far away from me, but I'm just trying to manage this. I might get this very well. Let me see. Yeah, preview, auto rotate. This my background thing. This is so all the videos I do, this is what I normally do. I'm sure for those of you who are familiar with the channel, you're familiar with the background. But basically, just to discuss, I don't even know why they put Nigerian economy and the way forward, because I'm not an economist. I'm a student anyway. I'm trying to learn. For me, seeking knowledge is very important, but I'm also very pragmatic and also very how do I put it, factual with myself. I know my limitations, and places where I don't have the knowledge, I tend not to dabble in those places. I'll tell you upfront, I don't have any knowledge of this, so please, the place that I have knowledge, even if it's technical knowledge, my mouth is big. Anyways, the meeting, they're still coming on, so you might hear certain sounds, so I'll wait for those questions.
Just concluded what was meant to be by-election in some states across Nigeria. It's, of course, ended not very different from what we all expected. In fact, if anyone expected anything different, they must really be in dreamland. Elections were cancelled in Enugu, Akwa Ibom, and in Kano states due to, of course, according to INEC, disruptions, irregularities, and, listen, abduction of election officials. You would hear those type of things only in Nigeria. Again, disruptions, irregularities, and abduction of election officials. Well, once again, if you expected any different, you need to maybe go kneel down in the corner of your bedroom, because of course it's Nigeria. These type of incidents have been very normal in almost every single election cycle in Nigeria. Absolutely nothing changes. No matter the amount of adjustments to the electoral laws, the same cycle on repeat. Now, the problem is not a failure of electoral reforms, but it's something that we seem to ignore when we wish INEC will deliver every single time there's elections. We call on INEC,
when they talk about this thing, for those, if you think you expected different, then you were living a dreamland and all of that. I expected different. I would never go to a place where I am comfortable with criminality in Nigeria. No, that's not the way to go. I will always look for that different. I will always want the right thing to be done. This whole thing of us as accepting that it's Nigeria, so bad things, it's okay to do bad things. Nah, that's why they do what they do.
Lack of institutional capacity, lack of political will and leadership. it wouldn't exclude INEC from its spread and, of course, the spread of its cancer. INEC will, of course, be a victim of the same dysfunctionality. INEC is operating within the broader context of dysfunctionality. It is shackled by the same chains that bind other governmental entities. Nigeria is dealing with government agencies that can't provide the most basic services to citizens. Police has continuously been rated as one of the worst.
So before they come to me, I think they are going on with this, and I think for me, this is some of the things that I always talk about, honestly, because we can't just sit down and just keep accepting that, oh, it's Nigeria. Oh, what did you expect? It's Nigeria. No, it's not. It's not. It's Nigeria. Aren't we deserving of something good in this country? Aren't we deserving of great things? Aren't we deserving of amazing country? Aren't we deserving of good governance, of accountability, of transparency, of development? Is it bad for people to be coming to Nigeria for educational tourism and medical tourism? Is it bad for people to be coming for tourism, for us to be earning, for the average Nigeria to be well-to-do, for the people who are called poor in Nigeria to be the people who, how do I put it now? The people who have basic things in life, who can afford basic things. You understand? Is it wrong for us to have that? It's not. So we can't continue saying that, oh, let's continue on the path of the way we keep going, and that anything will just be. That's not the way to go at all. That is not the way to go. This country, we are deserving. We are humans. We are worthy. We are worthy of having a great country. We are worthy of living in a great country. We are worthy of having a great life. We are not just slaves that are supposed to come here, suffer, toil, pray, and die. No, life is much more than that. If we're talking about religion, are we the only ones that have religion in this world? The Saudi Arabians, the Emiratis, the what are they called? The Qataris, the whatever that are enjoying, don't they have religion? Are they not still enjoying in this world? The Israelis, the Italians, the Romans, are they not enjoying? Are they not, don't they have religion? Are they not enjoying? Even in the US, don't they have religion? Are they not enjoying? Is it our own that our own is only the one of religion and die? Is that the only one we will know? God forbid.
Very insightful conversation there from Sarge. Well, which way Nigeria? Also staying in Nigeria, talking about Nigeria, the Nigerian Senate has summoned the economic...
Okay, they are still there, and they told you, this is the thing about, I always tell people, don't give me African time, give me the time. They told me 7:20, that's when I will join, and it's already 7:20 what now? Then the guy calls me and say, okay, join in like 6 whatever minutes, way after that, and then now.
The entire President Tinubu's economic team appear on Friday, 9th of February. Now, similarly, the federal government yesterday convened an emergency meeting to address a spate of protests. Some parts of the country due to rising cost of...
Okay, so let me, why they're still doing that, why they come back to me, and because of that, because of the fact that they told me that I needed to be here 7:30, and I normally do 1 hour walk in the morning, I had to leave my house before 6 to go and do this exercise, and then I'm here. I finished the exercise. Okay, it's a good thing I finished the exercise early, Sha. I'm feeling myself. I'm doing my exercise. Have you done your own exercise? I'm doing this walk with Aisha. If let's do 1 hour at least and walk, exercise. Give 1 hour to yourself. Be healthy. Take care of this body. For me personally, I've done a bit, not done so well in taking care of my body before my 50s, but now in my 50s, I am trying to be deliberate in doing that. Okay, they are talking about me now.
She refers to herself as an active Nigerian citizen. We do have with us Aisha Yusufu. Thank you so much, and we say Ekaro or good morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. I will say Naibia, Abe, from my own dialect, Isako.
Just help us unmute your device so we can hear that excited voice of yours.
Oh, thank you so much. I didn't know I was still muted. I will say Naibia, Abe from Isako, my own tribe. Well done.
Correct. Okay. Okay, that's good. Thank you. All right. So it's Wednesday morning. Um, we know what's going on currently in Nigeria. And as we speak to you this morning, I wouldn't hold back in going straight to my question so we can get this whole conversation on the road. How's it been like, especially as a Nigerian and as an activist who is indeed looking at the growth of the economy? And what have you to say concerning the current situation that we find ourselves?
So first of all, I will just give this to say that I'm not an economist, so I might not be speaking from an expert point of view. I probably will be speaking like as a Nigerian and a businesswoman, a trader who is being affected by the economy. But before I go on, I was listening to what was being said earlier, and the part that struck me was the part where it was said that if anyone expected anything different with the election, that means the person is living in a dreamland. I actually wrote this down, or you should go kneel down at the corner of your bedroom. Honestly, I expected different. For me as a Nigerian, I would never succumb to a place where I say this is Nigeria and criminality is supposed to happen. I will never succumb to a situation where I say this is Nigeria, election should be a do or die affair, election should be about killing, about maiming, about abducting people. Because the moment we do that, then we give room for perpetrators to continue to do what they're doing. I refuse to believe that I'm not worthy as a Nigerian, I'm not worthy of a country that works for me. I refuse to believe that as a Nigerian, I'm not deserving of a country that works for me. I refuse to believe that as a Nigerian, I'm not deserving of good quality life. I refuse to believe that as a Nigerian, that what I'm supposed to do on this earth is just to survive and to just be surviving instead of living. I want different in Nigeria, and I believe Nigeria can be different. Nigeria has everything that is needed to be a great and amazing country, to be one of the top countries in the world. It's not about religion, it's not about ethnicity, it is not about gender or whatever. It's about human beings being able to live very well. Having said that, is to say, we look at the economy today. I'm a businesswoman. I started my business in the year 2000. I used to go to Dubai to go and buy things in Dubai and sell in Nigeria. At the time that I was going, dollar was about, I think, 103 naira, the first trip that I made. By the time I was doing my second trip, 3 months later, dollar had gone to 113 naira. And by the time I was doing my third trip, it was around within a year, 120 naira. And this is where we are today. Dollar is around 1,004 something, 1,005. If you look at it, if you go to Dubai today, as of that time of Dubai, dirham was about to dollar was about 365, 366. 3.65, not 365, 3.65, 3.66 dirham. I'm sure if you go to Dubai today and still check, it will still be within that range, definitely less than 4 dirham to a dollar. That tells you everything. That tells you the difference. As a businessman, who this year will be my 24th year of doing business, I can categorically tell you that I've never had it this bad. I've had times, even during the last recession and everything, it's never been this bad. There was a time that I placed order for some goods. Before before the trailers came to my warehouse, some of the products, they had increased price more than 3 times. Today in our warehouses, you do not sell. By the time a customer is coming to buy something, you're calling the source to find out how much is it that they are selling this product. Otherwise, you will not be able, you will sell the product and not be able to replace the product. Today, you find situation like things that are supposed to be basic necessities in life, they are now, what do you call it now? They are now luxury. People can't afford to eat eggs. People can't afford to buy chicken. A lot of things that are supposed to be basic, they are now luxury. People are suffering. The disposable income is no longer available. It is very little, and sometimes not even available to a lot of people. And yet, we have governance. Governance is continuing as if it's business or as usual. I was one of those who supported the removal of fuel subsidy in 2012 when it was done under President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Even up to today, when subsidy was removed, I support subsidy removal. But now I see the point of a lot of people who were on the streets in 2012 where they said if subsidy is removed, that it is the people in government that will continue with that corruption and looting and wastage of money, and that it is not the people that will benefit with it. A decade more later, I'm actually saying that they were right, because at that time I was saying, why don't we fight the corruption? Why are we putting subsidy on luxury when you have, as of the time that subsidy was removed, I was a transporter. One of the businesses I was doing at that time was transportation. I had trailers that were going from Lagos to the north, and I was buying diesel. Diesel wasn't subsidized. It still isn't subsidized. And I was like, why are you not subsidizing what is used to run the economy? We're subsidizing what is used for luxury. But today we're seeing wastage. We're seeing unprecedented looting. Today we're seeing all sorts of things going on with by those that are supposed to be government are in place while the people are suffering. And that is not the way to go at all. People are really suffering. They are dying at this moment.
Yeah. Hearing you talk about, how long you've been doing business and, trade, going from here to Dubai, and of course the dollar exchange rate, almost make you sound like one of those that the CBN governor was referring to, and the APC government referring to, that is making the exchange rate continue to skyrocket because you continue to create too much, dependency and demand for the dollar. They've also mentioned, and I'm going to share, that it's opposition parties that are instigating mass protests to undermine the government. If you remember the INA protests, and I think also in Kano, because people protesting against the government because of poverty and hunger. But the APC government says that it is the opposition parties that are instigating these protests to undermine the government. And I think I saw Felix Mock, I believe yesterday, say that it was unpatriotic also to be a part of these protests. So I want your quick thoughts when statements like that are made. It's unpatriotic.
Okay, so I will start with the issue of my going to Dubai for business. First of all, when I went to Dubai, I used my private money, my hard-earned money. We put our monies together, and I used that to go to Dubai to go and do business. It's not when the CBN governor is talking, the CBN governor should know about Nigeria that took over 1,000 delegates to go for climate change summit in Dubai, using public funds and paying people in forex. That's where we're wasting our monies. When the CBN governor was talking, did he talk about the fact that at this moment there are countries, I think Argentina is also one of those countries that said they are no longer going to be going on this trips out of the country. There's also an African country, I've forgotten that one right now, that said because of the economy in the country is putting a stop at it. But right now, we have a lot of our government officials, public officials, going abroad to use our dollars to go abroad and do all of that. When he's talking about forex, Nigeria currently is wasting money on, what do you call it now, refineries. People are being paid in NNPC for doing nothing. Refineries, people are being paid. We have refineries all over the country where people are being paid. They are not doing anything, and yet we are going on to go and import fuel. We import petrol into this country. Dangote, that is supposed to, has a refinery. We've heard that now he's going to be buying crude oil from out of the country. That is where the dollars are going to it. So it's not an Aisha Yusufu that was going to Dubai 2 years ago. There was something also that the CBN governor said. He made mention of the fact that education and medical tourism have really affected, and I totally agree with him in that aspect. But the thing that he forgot to mention is the fact that the Nigerian government has failed to provide good quality education where as citizens will be able to have access to good quality education here in Nigeria. So the issue, the hypocrisy where they send their children abroad and they expect that our own children should stay and get, how do I put it now, not as good quality education, so that the way that they have enslaved us, their own children will enslave our children. It's not going to happen. My children don't school here. And I will talk about one. My first son. My son is dyslexic. Dyslexia is a learning disability. In Nigeria, in 2013, him, we had to make the very difficult decision, myself and my husband, to send him abroad. Why did we send him abroad? Because Nigeria did not have the capacity to be able to take care of educational needs. And so we had to send him abroad. That kind of a child, you want me to leave him in Nigeria so that he will not be able to be useful to himself or to the society? That's not going to happen. So instead of blaming other people, let them blame themselves. On the issue of protest that is going on, I know I laughed and I wondered when it was written by the APC from the APC National Secretariat, and I wonder when they were doing protests in 2012, 2014, and all of 2014, 2015, were they instigating, or when protests were going on, were they the ones instigating? And by the way, protest is a constitutional right. The opposition parties do not need to go through anyone to go and do protest. They can sit down on their own, wake up in the morning. If they decide that every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they're going to be on the Nigerian streets protesting, they have a constitutional right to do that. And the suffering that we have today, nobody needs to tell anybody because everybody is feeling it. This is not a protest of empathy. This is not a protest of some people are being killed or something is happening, let's protest on their behalf. No, this is a protest of survival. It is the people who are feeling the pain that are coming out to protest. And I tell you something, nobody is going to tell anybody to come out. Nobody is going to do placard. Nobody is going to do t-shirt. People will feel the pains on their own and they will come out on their own to protest. So they better begin to think about what they're going to do. Excuses are like shoes. You always find the one that fits, and stop the excuses.
Well, you said the government needs to stop the excuses and then needs to, of course, get to work. The president has been away for, a few days, and he just got back yesterday. A lot of people are saying that it wasn't right for him to have traveled, especially when the country is going through a lot. And he hasn't even spoken to Nigerians, especially regarding the protests, the killings. But of course, one or two things are being put in place, especially with those who are close to the president. My question to you is this. With the current situation Nigeria finds itself, if you were the president, what are the things that you think should be done and should be put in place now?
So first of all, nobody risks to give anybody good governance. Nobody risks to feel the pain of the people. Nobody who has empathy is going to risk. If I was the president today, the first thing I'll tell you that the process that would have brought me in as the president would be extremely transparent. It would be a process that would be excellent. I will not in any way try to undermine the electoral process, try to rig election. I will let the result be. If I win, I win. If I don't win, I don't win. Having said that, the next thing also is, first of all, the first thing that I would have done is to speak to the people and let the people know exactly what is the current state of the economy as it is. The second thing, of course, is to ensure that I'm always listening, I'm always there. Third, crude oil theft has to be stopped. I would have stopped crude oil theft. Those that are stealing, anyone that is part of it, taken out of it in the way that they are retrenched. If I have a chief of naval staff that investigation has been implicated that it's been reported that is part of a 170 million bribe scandal, he's not going to still be the naval chief. He's going to be replaced. If we're able to stop that crude oil, that will be something. Every leakage, corruption leakages around, all of these things whereby people are sharing billions of naira. You find out that they call it, what's this thing they call it, consultancy fee. Somebody is getting 700 million naira as consultancy fee to verify social register. That definitely is not going to happen under an Aisha Yesufu presidency. We are not going to have that. So lock up all of these things and begin to fight the insecurity. Go after the terrorists. Nothing like lip services, nothing like excuses. Every of our military, equip our military, ensure our military that they're getting the right allowances they are supposed to get. Their lives are insured. They know Nigeria have their back. They know, God forbid, if anything happens happens to them, we're going to take care of their family. They're going to put their all in defending Nigeria. They're going to be patriotic, because if we're able to take care of that terrorism, we're going to open up the economy to a very good extent. Right now, people can't go on the farm. I've been selling chicken feed since 2002. 2002. So this year will be my 22nd year of selling chicken feed, and I can tell you, I see now, when I was crying, people were insulting me. Now the Poultry Association of Nigeria is actually crying and said that 50% of their members have closed down their shops. So, and we don't have maize. We import maize into Nigeria. We import wheat. Make sure that the insecurity is taken care of. People are able to go to the farms and farm, put in a lot into agri. These are basic things. They are not rocket science. And most importantly, empathize with Nigerians. Show the people that you got their back, you care. Not just about you alone having siren and going on private visits and all of that. And most importantly, I would not be going anywhere for any medical care. I will stop any foreign trip or whatever. We need to sit down and fix our economy and ensure that we have a country that works for us, that is on the path of working. Like I said earlier, and most importantly, is not to put corrupt. I will never put corrupt people around in my government. People who are part of corruption in one way or the other will not be there. What we will have will be people with competence, character, capacity, people who are patriotic, people who have courage, people who are going to put Nigeria first, and for us to begin to move Nigeria. And in my presidency, I'm not going to work for me to be praised today, for some psychophants to be praising me. I'm going to work in such a way that 100 years from after I'm dead, there are people that will look back and say, thank God that Nigeria had a president called Aisha Yusufu.
Yeah, I don't know if you're running, well, as of today, you're not running for office.
No, I'm not.
No.
As of today, I'm not running for office because I love my time. I love my freedom. I love to wake up when I want to wake up, do what I want to do. That's why I've never worked for anyone. I've always done my own business. And so if I get to that place where I want to be accountable to the people, then I will run. Then when I do that, I will serve, because it is about service. It's not about going there to enjoy myself. If I want to enjoy myself, I should do it out of this. But one thing that I'm very categorical about, and I'm going to repeat it again now, Aisha Yusufu, by the grace of God, will never, ever work in anybody or take any appointment, whether be it minister or those SS, whatever they call it. No. The one that I can manage in serving the people will be an elected office, even if it's councillor. And if the people say, Aisha, we don't want you to be our councillor, I'll pack my bags and continue. I've always said this thing, I'm going to repeat it here. We need people with second jobs in politics. What we've done in Nigeria is that we've left politics for people who don't have any job other than politics. And when they get there, for them, it is a do or die affair, because they don't have anything out of politics. And it is from politics that we get people that are going to govern us. So we staying out of politics have been very foolish, and we all need to be part of it. And you don't need to run for office for you to be part of politics.
Yeah. I mean, probably a good time to, also ask, because I've seen that you did mention that Nigeria currently doesn't have a president, doesn't
Absolutely.
have, government. What would you say to those who are asking that you maybe give the government a little more time? I mean, it's only been in office for a couple of months. It's not like it's a magic wand that is going to, move and then things will get better or things will look better. So would you give the government a little more time? Give them a year, give them 2 years or something.
So you asked me earlier, there was a question you asked me earlier, and we sort of like reflect to this, which is to say, what will you do now if you were president? And I think I reeled out a couple of things for you. There are a couple of things that don't need time. You understand? It's just like you saying, we shouldn't have had this interview, let's give each other more time. Would anybody be seeing this interview? Nobody would see it. So excuses, remember what I said, excuses are like shoes, you understand? Or me coming here and not saying anything and telling you that give me more time. And then you say that, oh, Aisha, she did a brilliant interview because, she needs more time. There's nothing like that. It's about, first of all, doing the needful. When I say, first of all, for me, this government is illegitimate, and I have my reasons, and I've made our reasons categorically clear. In the case of how did you come into election, as far as I'm concerned, civilian coup, coup and military coup, they are the same, and the world should see that as the same. Having said that, also is that when you now force yourself on the people and you're not doing anything, there's nothing like give full time. Are you going to give time to the people who have been killed? A father and his 6 daughters were abducted, and guess what? One was killed because he couldn't pay ransom. That the one that was killed, we've had reports that her results from school came and she made the first class. Does she have time? No, she doesn't. A 13-year-old was killed because her parents couldn't pay ransom. We have 50-something people that have been, they were on their way to a wedding with the bride and everything, a wedding entourage. They were abducted. Some of the videos have started coming out. Are we talking about time there? People are dying. Are we talking about time there? Here we have. But when it comes to corruption, why is it that all the monies that have been looted, we saw what happened. Even the Minister of Interior is also indicted in it. His own company got about 700 and something million naira to do verification of a register, consultancy fee. But what time are you looking? Why didn't they give themselves time to not do all of those things? He comes out today to tell us that, oh, he's not a director according to the law. He removed himself as a director, but he's still the highest shareholder. I'm a business person. Removing yourself as signatory and as director doesn't mean anything. The company still belongs to you and your wife. And you got over 700 million naira consultancy fee over register. How many people were given were the jobs made public? You had about 3 billion naira that was shared with less than 10 people, shared all of these things. Did they take time to do that? When they were going to Dubai with over 1,000 entourage, did they take time not to spend public funds? Why is it that when public funds is being wasted, no time is taken? But when it comes to giving good governance to the people, then we begin to talk about time. People are dying. And they don't have time anymore. You and I can have time because we can afford 3 square meters. But I can tell you, there are a lot of people who can't afford 3 square meters. We should be thinking about them, not about ourselves.
All right. I mean, due to time, we'd like to carry on this conversation. But let me just drop one last question for you. My question to you simply is, the kidnapping seems to be the order of the day. We've seen what's going on as well in terms of the cost of living. A bag of rice going for 70,000 naira and the likes. Do you foresee a way out of this, especially with the plans being put in place by the current administration? Do you foresee a way out of it?
Well, I don't know of any plans being put in place according to whatever this illegitimate government that we have, but definitely there's always a way out of it. The reason why the kidnappings have increased is because, one, we have given enabling environment for the government to continue, for Nigerian government to continue to abdicate its responsibilities. And of course, this illegitimate one came in and continued with the abdication of responsibility. We've also given enabling environment for the perpetrators, the terrorists, the kidnappers to continue to be more emboldened and come after us. I remember some years ago, the terrorists even dared that they were going to kidnap a sitting president who was a former general, and yet the whole Nigeria security agencies, military, and everything were not deployed to go after them. So if they can threaten a sitting president and nothing will be done. I remember when Kankara boys were abducted, and it was the same day that the then president had gone into Katsina, and is some 100 of kilometers away from his village. And for me, and I kept shouting, I said, for the fact that a whole Nigerian president, the commander-in-chief, the CNC, was going back to his village, these people were not scared of and aborting that mission, means that they do not have any respect for our security agencies and our military. And they abducted those children. They worked with them for days. And, you know, at the end of the day, we weren't the ones that were actually able to rescue them. So we've given them enough room for them to be more emboldened every day. But if you ask me that, is there a way out? Absolutely, yes. Nigeria has the capacity to do that. Our military, for me, I believe in our military. I believe in the men and women that we have. The leadership might not be what it's supposed to be, but they are there. They are yearning to go after these people. But we've heard reports from them. We saw reports whereby it was said that our soldiers are being fed once a day. How are you feeding somebody once a day and you expect him to be able to fight for you? How are you not taking care of somebody's need? We saw a video recently. I don't know how true that video is. I haven't seen the military come and debunk it, where a soldier was given permission pass to go to visit his family. He got to the motor park and he couldn't afford to travel to his own home because the petrol has increased. He had been in Borno for he said, I think about 3 years. So he didn't know that there was this increase in transportation. And he said he was going back because he couldn't afford it. And I just sat down to imagine, how come is it that the military aren't giving them money that would take them, or even have the transportation system to take them back to their families and take them back home? So yes, we have it, but the political will is what we do not have. And the question we should all be asking, who is benefiting from all of this terrorism? Who is benefiting from all of this kidnapping? Who is it? A conduit pipe for some people? Is it opportunity for some people to make money? Is it only the terrorists and the bush? Is there connivance somewhere between security agencies, political class, some citizens, whatever it is? We need to settle that puzzle, because if we put our minds to it as Nigerians, as a nation that we are, we can take care of this problem. It's not bigger than us. But hey, we've not done anything. And right now, I've been asking for several years, who is taking care of our forests? We are being encircled, and nothing seems to be done about it. All that some people seem to care about is looting and how they can get more monies.
Very interesting, and I would say thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's all in a bid to see a better Nigeria, and we, of course, welcome your thoughts. Always thank you very much for your time once again, and we wish you a very good day ahead.
Thank you so much for having me. Well done.
All right.
Anyway, that was it, though. As they said, I've said my own.
We'll discuss some of all of that.
Oh, okay. Sorry about. Let me change this thing a little bit. Okay. Let me be able to speak this thing. So I've turned. Sorry about that. So that's it. So for me, and I'll always say this: I believe in Nigeria. I believe in the Nigeria's capacity, to do so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Let me bring my glasses. Sorry. I honestly have not been doing lives. I really need to. This one. Oh my goodness. Nobian Ferron. Oh, thank you so much. Well done. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you for the love. You guys are awesome. Honestly, you guys are really awesome. This is great. But like I always say, I believe in Nigeria. For me, I'm passionate about this country. That's why when I see some people talking, oh, leave Nigeria, leave. I'm like, are you okay? I believe in this country. I had opportunity to go invest in other countries. I said no, because I can't go and be buying houses in other countries where my people need land. Now I call it foolish patriotism. Honestly, that's what I call it now. A very foolish kind of patriotism. But honestly, I wouldn't want it anyways. I have only Nigerian passport. I'm not interested in getting another passport. This Nigeria will be our country. We die here. No one is going to make us feel less of humans in our own country. And we have what it takes to be a great. Okay, yeah, okay. There was a call that came in that sort of like disturbed it a little bit. But for me, like I always say, look, this country, we have what it takes to work. Honestly, we have what it takes to work in Nigeria. When people are saying, oh, it's Nigeria, it can never work. That's what I used to say, Nigeria must work in our lifetime. I'm ready to put in the work. If somebody is not ready to put in the work, I don't have any problem with that. I'm not going to force you to do it. But more, Aisha Isufu, on my 40th birthday, I made a commitment to God. And I said to God, if you give me another 40 years, I'm going to devote it to Nigeria. And I've just used 10 years out of that 40 years. I'm 50 now. And I reaffirmed that my commitment to a nation that was. For me, like I say, I don't care whatever people say about me, I'm this, I'm that. Oh, you are disrespectful. You should be mindful. You should be respectful. People who are oppressing you, that's what they want. They want your respect. They want your gratitude. And guess what? Those respect and gratitude will never free you. It's not going to free us from anything. So I want a nation that works. For me, I want to hand over to the next generation a better country than I met it. Right now, the country that we have is worse than what I met. I was there telling my parents that, you people, the Nigeria that you people met, you couldn't even leave it to us. Now, even me, I've not been able to leave to my children the Nigeria that I met. How is that? How is that in any way okay? How is that okay in any way? That's not okay in any way whatsoever. And we need to stop that. That has to be stopped. Nigeria have everything, like I said in that thing. As soon as somebody comes in, we are busy going about looking for how many billion dollars are we even asking now to go and borrow. Meanwhile, our crude oil that is being stolen is billions in a year. That money we are going to borrow, crude oil, we give. If we just stop the stealing of crude oil, it will be there. But we have people who have captured the country. We have people who have captured the country and they are using it to their own destiny, to the extent that somebody has been bribed with $170 million. That's the report that came out. The allegation against the naval chief of staff is that he was bribed with $170 million in the 7 months that he's been there. If the people that are bribing him with $170 million, how much did they make? So that means the crude oil that they took, it will be more than, it will be in billions now. There's no how it's just going to be just in 100 and what do you call it? That is just going to be one or some few millions. No. And even Tom Polo had been saying it, that his men will arrest and stop barges that are stealing crude oil, ships that are stealing crude oil. That is the Nigerian Navy that will free them. He accused them, they didn't say anything. We've seen it. So first of all, stop that. Then reduce the cost of governance. Stop all this wastage. How is somebody coming to tell you that they are using, you are paying them consultancy fee of 700 million to check a social register that your party put in place? You know, look at the person and say, are you okay? Are you okay? Oh, Esther, hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you. Well done. Esther Alege. Thank you. Alege, that sounds like an Edo name. That's the thing. That's the first thing you will ask the person to say, are you okay? How are you? What kind of register are you checking that we are paying you consultancy fee 700 million? Then they were paying themselves 250. Some were receiving 500 million. Some were receiving this. Some were receiving that. Stop that. Stop that looting. Stop that money going. You will see enough money that will work. If I should sit down, if I want money, they should now that there's so much hardship, let there be influx, right, into the economy. Even there's, I will start making roads. First of all, let's connect. Nigeria has not reached the stage where we are fighting for our lives, where that climate change is that huge priority. I'm not saying climate change. Climate change is what we need to do, but there are certain parts where we need to also focus on development. If I start doing roads to say, link every farmland to a certain, every farm, sort of like clusters of farms here, link them to a market, so that within 12 hours, if you harvest from your farm, within 12 hours, you should be able to reach a market. Do all the roads. Even people, do the roads, begin to do the road. What will you do? You create employment. People will have disposable income. People will be able to use those disposable income. What will that? The circle will continue. Businesses will be able to do certain things. You put in an inflow into the economy. But what do we have today? You go and check the budget. What are they doing? They are telling you that they are buying almost all the state budgets, federal government budget, they are buying vehicles. I even forgot to mention that when this guy is saying that, oh, it's me that went to do, people like us that are doing business that are causing the. What about the people that are buying vehicles? Actually, sometimes when you finish interview, you're like, oh goodness, I forgot that particular point. What about the lawmakers that are buying vehicles? What about the budget? We are going to buy exotic vehicles Where it's not dollars, it's not foreign exchange that they use on that. If you stop all of that, won't you need something? Begin to do all of this. Start. Okay, let's build. By the time you're building, first of all, you're going to achieve two things. You're going to put roads into all of these forests, right? That's why I said to an SAU, there are some climate change parts that will keep them aside for the moment. Yeah. So what then happens? We begin to have what do you call it? These roads into all of these farms, hinterlands, join them to the city. Even if it's that, put the money there. The roads will be there. We will use them. Let this come, and then we will not be able to use that to also fight the security. It's easier. The insecurity, easier to go into all of these places and be able to do one thing or the other. It's not about knowing, it's not about, I don't know everything. I always tell people when it comes to governance, that's why you see me all the time. I'm in school, and I'm currently entering my third year of doing economics. 2019, I did law. I finished in 2021. I have LLB. By the time I'm done with this economics, hopefully I'm going to go to law school. I'm doing all of this in why? To learn things, because I'm a science student. Unfortunately, the kind of education we have in Nigeria, they just put you one way. I read sciences. I'm a microbiologist. I have masters in pharmaceutical microbiology. I started my PhD in 2007. They made me angry. I left. I didn't finish it because I spent 6 years to do my masters, and I was the first to finish it myself. Nigeria is such a dream killer. That's my goal. I had my goal to have my PhD before I was 30. Nigeria frustrated me. I didn't get it. That's why I know when I'm fighting, I know what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for that inequality. I always tell people I don't want to help anybody. I want people to not need my help. Let the system be there. I don't go after my children in the UK. I didn't help them to find admission. I didn't do leg for them. They fill their form, they wrote their this, they applied to the universities that wanted. The ones that wanted them, they sent them acceptance letter. The one that didn't want them, they rejected them, and then they choose the ones they wanted. That's how it works. Not the one that you must know somebody before you get admission into somewhere. Who does that? Who does that? And so people have disposable income. You begin to work. That's how you do this. All you need to do, assemble the brilliant minds. We have brilliant minds all over Nigeria. You see Nigeria in Canada, is this minister there? Nigeria in UK, is this there? Nigeria in US, Nigerians in US, some of them are advising the president in US. They are doing this, they are doing. If they were in Nigeria, they can't drive. I will look for every one of them. I will look for the ones that are here, the best of the best. Come and do Jackie work. Come and do the work. Even if I don't know anything, even if I go low do, I go gather the best of the best. And if you are not doing your work, well, you are going. One thing I've seen, one of the things I'm learning, I'm beginning to realize, and I say, apart from, you need somebody with courage in this Nigerian, this thing. With scatter, as in scatter everything. Let's rebuild this country and build a better and a greater nation. For me, I always say one thing. One Nigeria is not sacrosanct, but you see good governance, accountability, transparency, you see development, you see good quality education, you see full employment, all of these things, good roads, you understand, security. These things are sacrosanct, and we need to be working towards them. It's not for us to just sit down and just be saying, now it's Nigeria now, nothing will work. Something will work. You, all of us can make it work. Let's believe. Let's not. That belief, that's where they've defeated us. Or it's self-defeatism. I will never accept self-defeatism. I know where I came from. I was told a lot of times that things I wanted, things wouldn't work, things would do this. I stayed on. So when it comes to perseverance, I can persevere. I've never gotten anything easy in my life. I grew up in the ghetto. If you see, when I tell people where I grew up, some of them, they don't believe. Even the people that are there currently, they'll say, you still know she must be lying. She didn't grow up here. I grew up in a ghetto of the ghettos. We were looked upon as the dregs of society. And for me to come here, I had to fight a lot of people who told me it can't happen. I was told my dreams were too big. So my dreams for Nigeria, it's not too big. We can do it, you and I, and we'll stay on. And please, let's not accept that in where they tell us that, oh, nothing can be done. This is Nigeria. No. We are deserving of a great country, and we can get that great country. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. It's really such a pleasure. And I always say to people, Let's put in the work. We in the older generation, let's fix this mess so that our children will be able have that enabling environment to compete with everybody global. This is a 20-year-old. We owe her. We owe her a great Nigeria. We don't owe her. We don't need to give her this baggage that this Nigeria is, and we can have that country to work for all of us. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and listening. Thank you so much for those of you who have sent in gifts. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And also, of course, I think I need to be doing more lives. I had a meeting with my YouTube manager, and they were like, "Oh, you need to." Live is also some of the things. I used to do that before, but I stopped a little bit. But I think I'll need to bring that more in. So thank you so much, everyone. We'll keep talking. We will not give up on Nigeria. Ajayi Olarewaju, no, thank you. It will work. We will make it work. We'll put in all we can, honestly. Let's make it work. Nothing good comes easy, and nothing, I always say that good must be more tenacious than evil. What we do is that we give up. But the people who do evil, the people who don't give us good governance, they never give up. They keep coming. If Buhari can spend 12 years fighting to be president of Nigeria only to come and be such a disaster, then why should we give up? They don't give up. They stay on. Check them. They stay on. We're the ones that say, we're tired. We move on. No, let's stay on this. Let's keep going. Like I said earlier, we all have to be part of politics. You might not want to run for office. It's okay. You can help people who are running for office. You can help them raise money. You can donate money to them. Let's get credible people that are going to go in there and give us the good governance that we are looking for. And that will be what we need to do. So thank you so much for everyone for being a part of this. Femi Bash. I've not reached that place where I want to be accountable. Honestly, well, that's one of the things I always say to people. I love my freedom. I love doing my thing. Like last year, honestly, I think I spent just 3 months or 4 months in Nigeria. I spent 5 months in the US. I was doing a fellowship. I came back. Then my daughter needed me. She wanted me to be with her in the UK. I went to the UK. I spent, was it 3 months or 4? So I'm that kind of a person. So I love this, my freedom to do what I want to do. And also, I'm the kind of person, I don't know how to do things half measure. Like, I'm doing something. If you, like people say, give us, I don't know. Anything where they do, they put my body, mind, and soul. Even if I'm going to die on it, I'll give my life to it. So that's why I'm very careful about taking on, when I take on assignment. Because for me, if I enter off political office, it's not the one that people are doing it and having for. I go carry her from my head, they do Jackie work. And putting it, and that is so much sacrifice. And that sacrifice, honestly, I won't lie to you guys, it scares me. Because I know it's going to take, because there's so much of it, it's going to take every ounce of me. So that's why up till now I've not gotten to that stage. But if I ever get to that stage where I'm ready, to be sure, I definitely, I won't take appointment. I've always said that now I can't do yes to anybody. They go even sack me before the first day. Now they go sack, because I go look my boss or my principal. I say, "Okay, are you well, madam? Are you okay? Why are you doing this to the people?" So they kukuma sack me. Let me just stay where I am. But hey, we'll see how it goes. So, like I said, thank you so much, everyone. I really, really appreciate you all. God bless you all. Thank you. Well done. Okay, now I've not done live in a very long time. I don't even know how to end the live now. Okay, this is not the ending. Where do they even end the live again? Yeah, I don't enter. Oh yeah, I found it. Yes. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye. Well done. Thank you.